Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham, and today we have a very special Hot Toys figure unboxing and review. This is the Iron Man Mark 7, the D100, the Disney 100-year anniversary figure. This is the figure where 1,500 were made, so it's definitely a special day for me to be able to have this in hand and unbox it. You know, I wasn't really, this thing wasn't on my radar when it first came out, but the more we looked at it and everything, it just really grew on me, and it quickly became one of the figures I had to have. I just did a video last week about my top 5 grails that I'm searching for, and this was number 1. And who would reach out to my surprise? But Hawk Wars Toys is like, hey man, I got one, I can hook you up, and he did just that. And I have to give Hawk Wars Toys just a big shout out, a big thanks. He is a superb seller. If you guys need any Hot Toys figures, he has a ton on his eBay page. I'll put the link in the description below. Solid seller, 100% feedback, will work with you, and just a great overall guy in the community and just overall as a person. So thank you so much, Hawk, for hooking me up. Go check out his online store down below. And getting back to the figure here, taking a look at the box, it's a nice box. I wish there was a little bit more pizzazz to it. I wish the figure itself, it looks a little muted. Like, I wish it stood out just a little bit more. We have the foil Iron Man Mark 7 here in the title below, and it says die cast. It is the typical Iron Man art box. So if you've had one before, this really isn't gonna like blow you away. You know, for something that's 1,500 pieces, I really wish they would have given us a better experience of unboxing and just something different. Even the Wonder Woman 100 was a little bit different, and maybe because it was a rooted hair, but I just wish it was something like that. I wish it was numbered as well. Another thing I don't like is how they packaged this A backdrop, the Avengers backdrop, and just how flimsy it is. It's just not something I'm going to use. But once we get this thing onto the table, again, you can see the box. We have the Disney 100 here on the styrofoam. I do love that about the Iron Man figures, that they come in these styrofoam packages. That's high end. I like that a lot. I just wish it was something special about the box and about, you know, the unboxing process here. It does feel like a traditional Iron Man if you've had one before. So again, Mark 7 here, and it again, it says D100 on both sides. There's like going to be this packaging, this clamshell on the bottom with the base and some accessories. We'll take a glance at that. You also have your instructions. I really do urge you guys to look at the instructions. This is like my 5th Iron Man figure, and I still consider myself a rookie when it comes to handling these guys. They're very intimidating because they have a lot of plastic flaps, a lot of delicate pieces, a lot of articulation points that not all of the other figures out there have. So you definitely want to know what you're doing when you're handling these figures. And even I, in this video, won't be showing you everything because I'm still learning as I go. But man, getting my first look at this guy, whew, I am impressed. I'm blown away. This is special, you know, and I didn't think I'd like the silver with the red. I wasn't ever a big fan of the silver Centurion, but I wasn't a big fan of that suit. And the Mark 7 is a suit that is one of my favorites, along with the Mark 3 and the Mark 85. So this thing just hits all of the heartstrings for me. So let's get them out and talk about them. But first, we're going to start with just some of the other things in the box here. So we're going to look at a couple hands here. So we do have the articulated hands. So these are going to be posable. You can move them, you know, however you see fit. And it's just got such a nice, like a deep red, and it's got a shine to it too. The original Mark 7 had a matte, and this one's going to have a really nice shine. It's going to be super clean, which we'll look at in a little bit here. But yes, you do get those articulated hands. You get the repulsor blast hands, which is really nice if you're doing, you know, that blast effect or lift off or something like that. And I like that they give you these hands because, you know, they're sculpted to fit just right. So they peg in just right. So it's at that right angle. So I like that a lot. And then you do have the fisted hands, which you can put the laser effects into this if you want him, you know, blasting at something like that. So just really cool stuff here. And then we also do have the shoulder armor that's kind of got the extended plates here, so you can swap these out. And we're going to talk about how to do that a little bit later in the video. But they do have a little hinge here. Just be careful. They are plastic. They are delicate. I would hate if anybody would, you know, break their pieces, especially coming out of the box. So again, just be careful. This is a heavy duty figure, but there's a lot of breakable parts here. Going into the other accessories here, we're just going to take a quick glance. We have the laser effects, we have the thigh plate armor, we have the swappable shoulder plates, we have the batteries, and then we also have the gauntlets with the rockets that can be detached. Going to the base, this was something that I really liked. I love this big Marvel plate to show off like Marvel in the case. And this looks a lot like the Justice League bases, just modified a little bit. But it's nice because it raises it up a little bit. And again, it's got that Marvel with all of like different logos just detailed in, which at a distance you can't really see, but once you get up close, you really see the intricate detail. Now, I love this base, but I'm a little upset that this is just like a flimsy piece of like plastic that's just like stickered on. I thought that should have been like a hard plastic, just a little bit higher end quality. And speaking of higher end quality, this is the A that you can take out and just stand behind it. I didn't like how it was just hanging out of the box. It's so flimsy. It's bent in the middle just so it stands on its own. I'm not going to be using that. Again, 1,500 pieces. I really do wish Hot Toys just went a little bit above and beyond with some of that stuff. But getting the figure outside of the box, taking a look at him on the round table, this guy just glistens in the light. I can't gush enough about this figure. The silver and the red together is so, I want to say iconic, but it's not. It's just impressive. It just blows me away. Iron Man figures is, again, it's an experience all in its own. So if you guys haven't gotten an Iron Man figure, I don't know if this should be your first one, but even a Mark 7 would just be amazing. The new Mark 3 is impressive as well. But this, I don't know, something about these colors screams to me. Like, get a good look at this Iron Man just turning here, and he's so clean. Even the Mark 7 had just little scratches and nicks and paint chips. This one is super clean. There's not going to be any of that, and I like it. I'm here for it. This is like your pristine Iron Man figure sitting in, the museum, and I just love it. I love the deep red. I love the shine to it. It is something else. I love the circular arc reactor too. It's more of that traditional bulky Iron Man. So this is just something. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gushing here. I know, but come on. This is number one on my grail list, so I gotta gush here a little bit. This is what this video is about. This is my number one grail, and I've already achieved it. So taking a look at it, you can take these magnetic pieces off on the head, and then up here you see the on-off switch and where you install the batteries. Batteries for the arc reactor go into the back of the figure. I'm not going to show you that just because you guys know me. I don't mess with the batteries, but you can take the chest plate off. It just shows more detail. There's other plates even on the side of that piece right there that come off. The shoulder pieces just pop right off, and you can see they just peg right in. I don't know if the friction is just better or they fixed it, but it just does, it seems to pop in better. On the original Mark 7, they were really flimsy, and I did own that figure for a time, so I know what it was like. The shoulder plates there, they can move, they can like fold out so it doesn't affect articulation, and then the arms can move in and out to get the arms to where you need them to be. He's got the shoulder or the wrist gauntlets here that just snap off, and then you can replace the other ones. He's got the thigh plates that just pop off here, and again, it's this friction where it pegs. I do wish this was more of like a magnetic system, just because I push them in and they don't always seem to be in all the way. They seem like they could pop out easy. He does have an extension in the abdomen just to get extra posability there too, so you can get extra crunch. And then he does have some swivel as well. Going down to the arm, and again, you're not going to have any problem posing this guy. He's going to be able to do pretty much anything. Just be careful and know what you're doing. So even here, the legs extend out so that when you bend them out, it's not going to rub on the plates, but you also do have flaps that you can move out. And then you got this cool detail here where this little canister thing just pops out, but here's the flap too. Just make sure if you're going to do like a really dynamic pose that you get those flaps out of the way. You don't want to crunch those or break those off. And then the leg can just pop right back into place. So yeah, this thing is nice. You have toe articulation, you have ankle articulation. This thing it's gonna get into almost any pose that you want. Just be careful when you're doing it. So man, it's just flaps on the back with the detail inside is just magnificent too, and I love everything about these figures. Like, this is the one figure I can just look at and just admire from the shelf. It stands out, and it's really got the shelf presence with this different color. And it's cool that there's only 1,500 made, because not everybody's going to have this, so it's just kind of nice to have. So here I'm just kind of like futzing with the pieces here. These do articulate, but it does pop out, so again, just be careful. There's other flaps that I'm kind of exploring here as we do this. This is just me live unboxing this and checking it out for the first time. So I'm kind of learning as I go. I had the Mark 85 is the last one that I've had. So I really didn't have to worry about a whole lot of these flaps because that's more of like a seamless body where, you don't have all these different flaps and movability stuff. I mean, like it's spring-loaded in the shoulders on that one too, but we're going to compare those here shortly here. So as we do that, let's just do that right now. And getting the battle damage Mark 85 with the Mark 7 D100, you can just see how different they look in style of armor, but then also the battle damage, of course, but even just how the gold changes the look of the figure. The Mark 7 is a more traditional look. It's kind of like an in the middle of like Mark 3 to the new stuff, to the nanotechnology. So I still love the Mark 85. It's great to have the battle damage look. I just put him back into the Stark head pose and the endgame look. But here we have, with some more of our Avengers friends, we have the Hulk in the back, which is another one of my favorites. These two figures are really putting my Marvel display over the top. Plus you have Captain America, which is a staple for any Marvel fan. They look amazing together. And here is a sneak peek of how I'm going to display this Iron Man in my Marvel display. So you can see it got him front and center. We got the base in there to show the Marvel plate, and he's in a simple but I think really effective pose. It just looks really good with all of the Marvel, pieces. So even if he's not screen accurate, I think this is a really good look, and I think he fits well. And then you can see I do have the 85 back into his Stark endgame pose there, but they all look great together. The Hulk looks amazing as well. So now let's get him into some poses and talk about some of the things that I like and dislike about this figure. Starting with the things that I really like about the figure, the color. Oh, I've been talking about it. The deep, dark red with the awesome shine. It just matches the silver so well. Not having the third color, the gold in there, does something for this figure. It just makes it pop more and makes it look more clean and whatnot. And speaking of clean, there's no nicks or scratches or anything in this figure, so I love just the contrast to what we normally get from an Iron Man figure as well. The next thing that I really like about the figure is the base. While I do have a problem with it, overall I really do like it. I like how it raises him up. I love how it says Marvel on the front. I don't need the Iron Man nameplate. The Marvel itself is just really cool, especially for an anniversary piece like this. And the third thing that I really like about this is just the armor. The shoulder armor locks into the shoulder a little bit better than my previous Mark 7. Feels like they stay in there. Anytime I'd move that figure, I felt like the shoulder swap out pieces would just fall right off. So they definitely did something there to fix that. And going to the things that I dislike about the figure, there's not much. I mentioned it earlier, the Marvel nameplate on the base itself, it's just this flimsy little plastic piece that's, if you look behind right here, you can see it's just stickered on, and I would have loved if it was like an actual thicker plastic piece, but nonetheless, when you're just looking at it on the shelf, it does look really good. And the only other thing that I didn't like or was a little bit let down of was just the art box / presentation. It didn't wow me for what I'm getting, a 1500 piece, a limited piece. I would have liked the experience of unboxing this to be a little bit more special. Don't get me wrong, unboxing an Iron Man alone is a special experience and it is a fun one, but I would have liked something over the top, especially if they could have numbered this. If you're telling me there's 1500, I would love to have a number on the box. Which one do I have out of 1500? That would have been so cool, but nonetheless, this is an amazing figure. If you can get this in your collection, do not pass it up. It's exactly what I did. Thank you so much to Hawk Wars Toys for hooking me up. I couldn't be happier with this figure. Go check out his store. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please do like this video. Let me know what you think about this figure. Let me know what your favorite Iron Man is, and until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.